Hello, my wildlings, and welcome back to the Widowed Turnabout. In the last episode, things weren't looking so great. But it's fine, because he's just asked if there are no more objections, he's going to end the cross-examination of Clyde Lovelace. But knowing Mr. Wright, he's about to object. I don't have any evidence. What do I do? Well, okay, maybe I have to decide to object. And I just said he would, so he's doing it. I see. Well, in that case, I shall... I see. Well, in that case, I shall pass my verdict. But of course, my brother mentioned you like to interrupt the verdict constantly. What is it, Mr. Wright? Yeah, but every time I do, I always bring about new evidence and get the right verdict. Your Honour, I can prove that Bonnie Lovelace intended to leave her husband. I think. We can? There must be something that showed her intent. Yes. Wait. What about these strange little etchings? If we look in the floor where she died, she might have scratched something in the floor there. It just cuts to the photo and it's just on the floor, scratched into the carpet is, "My name is Mrs. Lovelace. I have been shot in the back. It really hurts and I will probably die soon. If you're reading this, I hate my husband. He shot me. Please put him in jail. Love, Mrs. Lovelace." And then in brackets, it's like, oh, now I understand why that's my name. And then close brackets. And then that's it. But no, that would be silly. Well, I saw Mrs. Lovelace in passing that morning in the street outside our apartments. And I think she was holding something. Holding something? Yeah, I saw Bonnie with some document or something. Could it have been? Perhaps I got one small detail wrong. It's obvious he holds a lot of anger towards his wife. He says they were simply going through a rough patch, but he's lying. Mrs. Lovelace was also seen that day carrying some kind of document. I mean, Phoenix, I love you, man, but it takes you ages to get to this point. That document has since vanished, so it must be important. What could it have been? A love letter? No. A legal document. She was carrying a legal document. Okay, so it was some kind of legal document, something very important. But again, it vanished without a trace. No such document was found by the police, which is certainly strange. It must have been disposed of somehow. How did he dispose of it? I do but wonder. He burnt them. He burnt the papers! Those burnt scraps of paper. That's what they were. He threw them into the fire as an attempt to get rid of crucial evidence. It must have been something deadly to his story. But how and why? Why does he fear these papers being seen? Unless... I think all the pieces have come together at last. He's just been there putting together a puzzle while we've been talking. And the puzzle is another photo of him, Mr. Lovelace shooting Bonnie. They are adoption papers. He wasn't ready for the responsibility of children. Divorce papers. She was carrying divorce papers. I was wrong. She didn't confront him about her feelings that day. She had already left him by then. And so he planned the murder for that very day. It was revenge. Your Honour, I can now reveal my evidence. First off, Mrs. Lovelace was carrying something that day, according to Danny's testimony. She was clearly seen carrying some sort of document around that morning, and I believe this to be a point of crucial importance. But how could something like that relate at all to the case? Because of these. The recovered from the fireplace burnt pieces of paper. I believe these burnt pieces of paper are what's left of those documents. Oh, I see. But what does it matter, eh? It's very simple, Your Honour. The documents she carried were divorce papers. They... Where? What? What do you mean they were divorce papers? How do you know?
Yes, I demand an explanation.
He can't give one. He is clearly lying. Lying, am I? All we need to do is see if the victim filed for those papers at the registry office. Then we'd know for sure. Impossible. Actually, I'm afraid it's very possible. So, Mrs. Lovelace had already left her husband by the time of the murder. Exactly. She just went to his place to deliver the papers. Something he went to great lengths to hide from us. Even I didn't know that. She must have been waiting for the right time to tell me. It was a delicate matter, not something you go screaming to the world about. But they had been separated, no longer a true married couple. I could just imagine the witness's anger brewing inside him, knowing she had chosen someone else. That is why he purchased the gun and set this elaborate scheme into play. When she came to deliver the divorce papers to him, that is when he struck. When she turned her back to look out of the window, he silenced her for good.
I can't believe this. This can't be happening to me. Again.
Seeing is believing, Mr. Payne. Nevertheless, after he had committed the murder, he continued his plan to frame my client. He moved 3 things: the body, the bullet, and the cabinet. He also made sure to clean the blood splatter. After this, he wiped his prints from the gun and disposed it outside of Mr. Incent's own apartment. After that, he returned home and called the police, acting as a mere witness to the crime. And so, the illusion was complete. Does that sound about right, witness? Does the witness not have a counter to the defence's claims?
If you do, now would be a good time.
He knows that once we check the registry office, he can no longer keep up the lie. And only he, as the murderer, had any reason to do so. And the fact that the victim had left her husband for the defendant shows that my client had no motive to kill her, unlike the witness who she had already left behind. So, Mr. Lovelace, there is no escape for you now. Oh boy. It was such a good plan too. What? Mr. Lovelace, are you confessing? Everything Mr. Wright just said is the truth. I killed her. They're right. Once you check the registry office, my lie would have come undone anyway. I know when I'm beaten, there's nothing more to be done. I was just so angry at her. At both of them. She always said I had a temper. I guess she was right. Well then, what are you waiting for? No use just standing around. Give me my dues. So he's accepting it, just like that? I suppose not everyone has a mental breakdown when faced with their fate. Your Honour, I think the verdict would be appropriate around about now. Yes, I suppose the time has come. Oh, come on.
Oh, I don't think so, Mr. Wright.
Why the fuck not? What could you possibly want now?
Your Honour, the prosecution says that the witness's confession is false.
Mr. Payne, I assume you have some evidence of this.
Evidence?
In that case, I think only one thing is appropriate here. A penalty.
Yes, the prosecution finally got a penalty instead of me. It's brilliant. I love it. Penalty? Me? The great Winston Penn.
No, of course, someone has to have a mental breakdown.
No!
We couldn't get away with it. We had to have at least one mental breakdown. And there he goes. I think you spoke too soon about that mental breakdown, boss. I suppose it's part of the Payne family line to choose flight over fight. Well, that was certainly a dramatic exit. But I'm sure he'll turn up again some point in the future. But I think we can now ascertain the defendant's innocence. Thank you all so much. It was our pleasure, Danny. Rain or shine, we're always on the case. I prefer shine, personally. Same. It depends. I mean, you can't have too much shine. You gotta have rain so the plants can grow. And all that jazz. Either way, I believe this trial is at an end now. And I can now safely hand down my verdict. I find the defendant, Mr. Danny Incent, not guilty.
Yay, confetti!
It's different confetti this time as well. Cool. Court is now adjourned. District Courthouse, Defendant's Lobby 4, January 5th, 2:53 p.m. Hey, Mr. Incent, congratulations on your acquittal. Oh, thanks, Mr. Wright, but shouldn't I be congratulating you? It was you who won it, after all. You're very welcome. Anytime you need a lawyer, you know where to go. I think it would be better if he didn't need us. So, what are you going to do now? I'm not sure, to be totally honest with you. But Bond wouldn't want me to give up, so I have no plans to. I just hope she can rest easy now. I'm sure she will. Oh man, I really want to see him and her happy together now, but that can't happen. Clyde, you fucking prick. It's hard to think what could have been for them. And had Mr. Lovelace not done what he had. Yeah, it really is. I feel for Bonnie Lovelace. Being stuck in a loveless marriage and being killed on finding love again. I guess she was always destined to be Bonnie Lovelace. God damn it. Well, for what it's worth, I believe she did truly love Mr. Incent. She knew the kind of man Mr. Lovelace was. She was leaving him after all. Yet even she never saw the murder coming. Even she didn't know the extent of his cruelty. Hey, Trucy! Oh god, I've forgotten your voice. Hey Dad, congrats on the win! Trucy, I suppose you were watching from the gallery? Of course, I never miss your trials. True enough. Say, Trucy, you wouldn't happen to know if there's been any word on Apollo, would you? Polly? No, I haven't heard anything. You know, I was half expecting him to turn up in the lobby and congratulate us. But I suppose not. Where could he have gone? Well, don't forget about Clavier and the judge. All three go missing at the same time. It can't be a coincidence.
I would be inclined to agree. I trust you've been well right.
Wait, that voice. Hey! I do kind of prefer him in the glasses. Mostly because I wear glasses too. But still. Edgeworth, are you feeling alright? Yes, I'm fine. I just had my ruffles a little too tight. Right, I offer you my congratulations on your latest victory. But as it is, I am here for a different reason. A defense attorney, a prosecutor, and a judge have all vanished almost simultaneously. 2 times is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. A pattern? What could he mean? The police are continuing the investigation, and I am directly overseeing the search effort. But for now, we are still compiling what we know. So in that regard, I would like for you to meet me in my office the day after tomorrow. I must admit, I have a suspicion as to what occurred. Suspicion? We shall not discuss it here, but the day after tomorrow in private. Until then, I'm just going to walk away from the conversation without even saying goodbye. How incredibly rude of me.
What was that about?
I'm not sure.
I suppose I'll have to find out. Chief Prosecutor's Office, January 7th, 10:50 a.m. I know I probably should have technically ended the episode a while ago, but this is clearly very close to the end, so I haven't. You know, as I do. Is that a picture of his costume? Should it be referred to as a costume? I guess suit? Is that a picture of his own suit on the wall? Or has he, pinned up his own suit on the wall? Either way, why? Good, you came. Of course I did. It's for Apollo's sake. So, any breakthroughs? None whatsoever, as I expected. None? It's not as bad as it may seem. In fact, I believe that they are completely fine. And how would you know that? The judge disappeared right out of the courthouse with nobody seeing him leave. Apollo and Prosecutor Gavin were at Gourd Lake, which has security cameras at all entrances and exits. Once again, they were never seen. On top of that, a defense attorney, a prosecutor, and a judge all vanished. Now tell me, what could you do with all 3 of those things together? I don't know. A trial, I would presume. Exactly. 8 years ago, you went missing for 2 days. Not long after, you and I left this place, as did the judge. Right, I feel a familiar force in the air. Wait. You don't mean... I do. I believe they have been taken to the same place we once were. But we were returned minutes after we left last time. They haven't. Yes, that did cross my mind. If I were you, right, I would keep my eye out. We may soon be visited by some old friends. Or we may visit them. Could it be true? Could she be behind all this? Just cuts to Bellwether. No, not again! I suppose it's possible. Oh, God. Now I'm just reminded of the ship. And I'm now just picturing, there's one little picture frame on his desk of Bellwether, and it's terrifying to me and hilarious. I will keep up the search nevertheless. I could be wrong. This is not something that's easy to predict or explain away to those who ask. There's a reason we don't speak of it. Doubly so in my case. True. Be careful, right? I'm always... Ah! Did you really just trip over my carpet? I mean, yes. It's a really... You should sort the carpet out. It's not flat. My knee hurts. All right, Daddy, I'm heading out. Heading out? Where are you going? I've got one of my shows today, remember? Ah, of course. Be sure to wow the audience. No, don't worry. My magic panties never fail. Never. No. 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 Don't say that, please.
Oh, I'm sure you'll knock 'em dead, Trucy. Whether in court or on stage, a right remains victorious no matter what. Well, we are always right about things. I made a joke about our names. Ha! Nice one, Trucy. I've never heard that one before. Oh, come on. Why is it good when she says it? I don't know. I suppose it's just in the way you say it differently. What is that meant to mean? I need to move. See you later. Bye, Trucy. She'll be fine. Ah! Did you trip over the carpet? Yes. Did you hurt your knee? Yes. That's my girl. Mia. No. Nick, it's time. Oh, no. Mia? What was that, boss? Oh, are we both going now? What was that? Brace yourself, Athena. We're going away for a little while. Hey! Felix is coming too. I wasn't expecting that. And so it began again. The day we returned to Zootopia had come. We would soon be reunited with old friends in new peril. And all the while he was lurking behind the scenes. Oh, Jack's not back, is he? He's back for a Jack attack. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Lots of question marks. Hey, it's this place. You would be a fool not to join us. We could arrange for your freedom, break you out of here if you so wish. Your skills could be of great use to us. Hey! I mean, at the same time, but, I mean, there was a chance at redemption at the end, so we'll see. Jack Savage. Is that so? We have great plans for Zootopia. Great plans indeed. It is truly like the greatest script ever written. That would imply everything plays out as you intend. But I scoff at such a notion. I shall have no part in what you'll do. How could I even trust one who refuses to show their face to me? Did you not once do the same? It's been 8 years. It was a different time. No, I shall have no part in your scheme. Besides, I believe you've taken on more than you can chew. Especially now that he is returning. I would run if I were you. I do not care for your threats. Then be gone. We have nothing more to discuss. But I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again. Oh, who is this? For court is now in session. Roll credits. The Widow Turnabout. End. Continue to turn about hops? Not right now. I will later, though. So, this is a very interesting start. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. And I'll see you all there. Goodbye, good night, and good luck.